So all right, so I have this wrist. I know it's kind of hard to see. Um, this grounding cable attached to my wrist, which is supposed to keep me from statically messing up this motherboard, and it's attached to this right now, which is stupid. Um, that's the Assassin heatsink, the Peerless Assassin heatsink. I don't like it. It doesn't feel super secure to me. And then it says to put the motherboard on a. The reason it's put on the Peerless Assassin is because all the metal parts seem painted to me, which means they're not going to do the purpose. It needs to be on metal. So, and then it says to just do it, to just have this on. Yeah, that just flew off. See, I don't like that because then I hit something. It says to just have this on this for testing, or installation, or whatever, which doesn't really make sense to me. But hey, that's where we're at. So I decided that I am going to go with this power supply, or sorry, this CPU, wherever I put it, because it is apparently better. And no one really said anything. Am I reading up and maybe I'll get burned for it, but like, you know, it's a PSU, so that is the story. Or sorry, it's a better CPU. So this is it, and it's hard to see. And so just have to make sure the orientation's right. I haven't done this before. There is a little triangle apparently on both things, and the triangle, and also it won't click in correctly if it isn't correct. So step one is to pull up this little lever. I wonder if I can secure this any better. So there's some other part of this. It's not round. That's actually better, even though it is round. At least it feels better. Okay, so how do I pull this up? This pin. Hi, hacker exe, hacker execute. You hack? What do you hack, hacker? How do I get this thing to come up? Okay, pull it up. All right, that's cool. I don't really get that. Okay. And then I'm going to match up the triangle. I think the base, right? I think the bottom of this, there's a camera. I think the bottom sort of goes against this bottom part of this motherboard. So like, that's the bottom there. It says socket AM4. And so I think the bottom goes against the bottom, if I remember right, but we're going to see. how this goes. Oh, okay. Here's 7 Pro 3700. It's kind of beautiful. I kind of get it. I get why people are like, all right, where's the little triangle thing on here? That's a triangle. And there's a triangle over there. So I was wrong if that is right. Someone also said that it shouldn't fit. So that fits pretty nicely. That just pops in. Let's see if it fits other ways, just to see, just to test that theory. Yeah, it doesn't. So that's very it may seem like it's such a thing, but like when you're doing this, it should fit. And so that's like, you know, that's I am I don't want to say less empathetic, but come on. You know, if you just do this slow, you can do it right. Right? Okay, so that's the triangle. It fits it. Oh! My glove's getting stuck under it. It fits right there. And then what? I just put this back down? And then that somehow secures it? I guess that's how that works. Okay. Well, the Risen CU is in. I kind of want to check it now. I just want to be like, unclip this. I'm going to look at images real quick. We're going to look at images, team. We're just going to see if we did it. If we did it right. Put it in. Move the pin, put that thing down, put that thing under, and then put the thermal paste on. Thermal paste, I'm not actually going to put the thermal paste on, I don't think, because I'm trying to test. I want to test everything first. So, all right. CPU, Risen CPU in B550 plus Wi-Fi. Let's do in tough gaming Wi-Fi. See if that gives us any images. We could just confirm that we have it in right. This is the motherboard. Come on. All right. I guess we'll go to YouTube. I know I have some YouTube stuff here. Confirm via the YouTubes. Install Ryzen 7. In It's crazy how slow I'm taking this build. Well, this is a 5800X. Ah, stop. Let's see how this goes.
showing you how to install this AMD Ryzen 7 5800X CPU in this motherboard. This is an Asus Tough Gaming B550 Plus Wi-Fi 2 motherboard with AM4 socket. We'll get this CPU installed in here in no time.
Do I have to stop the stream? Did this get messed up? Can y'all still hear me? I think that phone call might have messed this up. It says you can see it. I'm annoyed. I've been annoyed all day. Or not all day, but annoyed.
Time and done properly. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. It's here that I'm using in my build. We're holding it by the edges. Make sure not to touch the face or the on the back here. Now the pins themselves, you can see there's a ton of them there. Those got little holes here. Make sure that we're holding it by the edges. Make sure not to touch this CPU here. We'll make sure that we're holding it by the edges. Make sure not to touch the face or the.
What has to do with oils? Why is it important not to touch the pins on a CPU? Prevent pins. Yeah, oils from fingers. Electrical discharge. And bent. Noted.
The pins on back here. Now the pins themselves, you can see there's a ton of them there. Those go into the little holes here on the AM4 socket. So you want to make sure that none of these get bent. It's really important that you're careful with this. So we need to figure out the direction that we're going to be putting the CPU into the socket in, and this is a very important step. You don't want to put it in the right. If we have a look at the AM4 socket here, in the very corner, there's a tiny little arrow, and even down on the main.
Yeah, tiny little arrow.
There as well. We need to make sure that that corner lines up with the corner of our CPU that has the arrow on it as well.
We just want to see how it goes in.
Prepare the socket to accept our CPU backwards, and now it's ready to accept the corner with the arrow, and we're going to try and line it up as best we can, and then we're going to just let it kind of go like that, and it should.
Okay, so the Ryzen is facing away. It goes down as at the bottom of the Ryzen card. Ryzen. So, okay, cool. So that's correct. Cool. What is next? What do I want to do next? RAM. I don't even know. I know I have to do the RAM in for. I basically just want everything that I can test. So, what needs to go on a motherboard in order to test it? Weird that I would have to have the CPU cooler connected also. That doesn't really make sense to me. I wonder if I can connect it without putting it on. Graphics card is required, a screwdriver, way to connect it. Yeah. Okay, so memory, CPU, RAM, graphics card. I gotta figure out how to install a graphics card. Should I keep streaming or should I go do research? What do you think? What do you think, people? Anyone have anything to say? So I can do research while I stream. How to install a NVIDIA Quadro P400 onto a motherboard. The Quadro P400 uses I Express 1600 interface. Yeah, I have that. So I have the motherboard diagram put up here. Yeah, see, we just finished this with the CPU. Tell me to put on thermal paste. I don't want to. Yeah. These cables are driving nuts. I think I have the wrong cables in the box. I think they gave me 850 cables. I'm supposed to have the 750 cables. I'm not sure. I do have the right number of cables, but just like staring at that diagram was giving me an aneurysm. Okay, that's an overstatement, but you know what I mean. What am I doing over here? Where's my diagram? There it is. I was thinking about reading through this whole thing before streaming anymore, but varying memory size. It's like at least 20 pages, I guess. Dim B2. All right, dim A2, dim A1, dim A2. I'm confused by this diagram. Does it make sense to you? Dim A1, dim A2, dim B2. Oh, okay, that's if you have one. So if you have one, it's saying put it in dim B2. If you have two, it says put it in dim A2 and dim B2. And then if you have four, it says use all of them. What are those asterisks about, though? Installing a dim. All right, so I lift up that little lever, and then I lift it up to remove. Yeah, we'll go with that. The person who I bought some cases from somebody that I later sold because I decided I didn't want to build with cases without any instructions. But I really can't see, but you know, done's better than perfect, I guess. I don't see a little thing to lift at all. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. Whoops. I'm going to. When I see people doing this online, no one's ever using this little security thing. It's kind of funny. I get it. It does feel not convenient. Let's see. Can I make this more convenient? That definitely is better. Okay. So, what am I looking for? Is it labeled? That's what I'm. Ah, they are labeled. Dim A1, dim A2, dim B1, can be to, okay, so the grays, I think, are what I'm doing, right? Let's confirm. Yeah, I'm putting it in the grays. Oh, I actually have to have my RAM. Grab that. This is a RAM. The RAM is the only thing I got new, as I've said in other videos. It's Corsair Vengeance LPX DDR4. It's two 16 gigabyte sticks and 32 megahertz. Yeah, I cut that seal. Safety and compliance information. Anything interesting in here? Something from the EPA. Something about encouraging recycling. It's in compliance with the directive. Operating temperature 0 Celsius to positive 40 Celsius. Positive 40 Celsius, I believe, is over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, if I remember correctly. The light is garbage. Could flatten the bottle. Light would be better, but you know, not doing that. Don't want to flatten the box in case I'm returning this for some reason. This RAM is like so solid. I like it. Touch that to ground myself. And then, does it go like this? I think, oh, I think it just slides right in like this. Well, that's incredibly easy. I think it's only supposed to go in one way, right? Like, let's see. With this one, we will see if it goes in the other way. Yeah, no. Because this little, I'll show you here. There's this little gap right here. I know you can't see perfectly well, but there's this little gap. And that little gap has to line up with this little protrusion, I guess is the correct word, that comes out of the board. So this little female gap to this sort of male protrusion, I guess we could say. And so it's not perfectly in the middle. It is not perfectly in the middle, and so it's only going to go in one way. It doesn't feel like it's all the way in. Oh. Ah, it snaps in. Like that snapped. Okay. All right, yeah, it snaps in on both sides and then it's secured. Excellent. The RAM is in. What's next? What is next? What's next is probably the graphics card. This graphics card is the thing I worry about most. Not only, I mean, I guess I have no experience really with this. I don't have any experience with discrete graphics, and I also know that like since this is supposed to be a Linux box, I know I'm gonna have to do some sort of software stuff with the drivers, which I'm just like, I guess it's whatever. I think it's just like it's timing of everything that bothers me. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind. I don't think. Okay, so that's in M2 installation. Do I have to have the M2 in to test a mother? Let's see. At least one DIMM of memory. I don't think the M2 is actually required to test. So I think we're going to skip that step. Yeah, I think we're going to skip that. And we're going to see. I'll move you so that you can see what I'm seeing. Ah! Right. Yeah, okay. Let's see. So we're skipping the M2. And we are going to, all right, BIOS and RAID support. No, 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 no. Where's the graphics? This is not a small manual. Well, that's the appendix. Graphics. Huh. Does it just not say on this, like, does it just have nothing on the graphics or did I just miss it? That's nuts. Why would it not? I mean, maybe every graphics card is different, but I mean, I know it goes in. I know it says one thing because it's gonna go here. It's gonna go to these PCIe 16, and I think specifically the card I have it goes to the 16 slot rather than the 3 slot. It says it here in the layout elements. I guess it just doesn't have install instructions because everyone would be different, right? Where is it? Fan headers, expansion squad. The motherboard supports 2 PCIe 16 graphics cards and 3 PCIe 3.1 network cards. It does kind of have me wondering if I need to put the network on, but I guess that's a later thing. I think we might be going to the YouTubes. Let us go to the YouTube. All right, I'm gonna grab the graphics card right quick. This graphics card I got for what seemed like a deal. A deal. It is such a simple card. It is not wanted. I forgot I was going to get the card I wanted on eBay. Maybe I didn't get it because you can't return it. I don't remember. I'm just doing a little tidying right now. We'll keep trying to keep the workspace as total chaos. I guess not total chaos, but it is far from ideal. Yeah, so I wanted to get the WX 4100. Is that what it's called? Radeon WX 4100. That card is. I basically am basing this build off of. I've like seen them do CAD stuff, and I respect their game. And so that's the card that they got because it's suited well for SolidWorks. I don't know. I don't like SolidWorks is not. You know, depending on who buys the PC, if anyone buys the PC, you know, maybe they'll use SolidWorks. SolidWorks is really expensive. It is the most expensive one because it is considered like, you know, it's like the go-to CAD modeling thing if you're like a pro or whatever. Ooh. Am I gonna be able to store this? Yeah, all right, that's fine. I'm just thinking about putting the motherboard back in the case after I'm done here because I'm not going full on tonight. All right, this is all right. So this is the graphics card that we have. Sorry, it's in this case. I'm gonna ground myself before I touch it. This is it. It's a Quadro. NVIDIA Quadro P400, I think. Switchers. I guess I'm kind of a nerd that I find this stuff pretty. I feel like I used to sort of poke fun at that, but all right. Yeah, Quadro. Okay. Let's see. Do we have too much stuff here? We're just checking out the peoples who were saying hey earlier. Oh yeah, don't get me started on that. That's a later thing. I thought it was going to be tonight's thing, and then I apparently pivoted to doing this because so we go with this one. This is what I was doing earlier. Apparently pivoted to this because I just had no more capacity for multimeter testing tonight, I guess. Let's see. It's not very loud. We're up the loudness. Yeah. Whoa. We're gonna make the loudness go louder. What's in this thing? Okay. I have these commands saved because I use them all the time on this computer, and I don't remember them. I'm increasing them. That's what's happening there.
To install graphics card. Now it's actually free.
I want it more.
Very straightforward and easy. All you need to do is take off your side panel off your computer. There's sometimes that's right here, or there's a door. So first thing you gotta do is make sure if it's a big beefy graphics card with a PC, I think it's a PCI power supply or graphics module. Now this graphics card Nvidia Quadro 600, it does not have a PCI power cord, so we're good on that. So once you're done getting off your...
Here's what I don't understand. This, at least right now, this graphics card comes with this like HDMI look thing. Can you see this? How bad is the... Yeah. There's no light in here. You see this though. It's like an HDMI type situation. Does it have a label? I don't see a label. HDMI, and then on the other side is this thing, which to me looks like a mic plug. I know it was terrible. Anyway, like that came with the graphics card, and then the graphics card has these, right? That's the male part, that sort of the audio cable looking thing, and the graphics card has these. It has these, which one, right? Like one of these plugs in. It says on these little things, it says 1, 2, 3. I forget what that's for. I feel like I looked it up at some point, but I don't know what it is. So if you know what it is, put it in chat, put it in the comments. Let me know. I'm trying to figure it out now. Graphics cards. All right. Back to the figuring it out.
Side panel. All you need to do is take off the shield and locate where this.
I think it's just gonna say plug it into the CIE 16 slot. That's my guess.
Now, what you're going to do is take your graphics card and put it inside. Make sure you line up the card itself with the actual.
Here's what I'm unsure about.
Pin slot, and once everything's lined up, push it directly in.
I will show what I'm uncertain about. This light needs to be charged, but I'm kind of out of outlets here. A lot going on. Interesting. Just making sure my stream's still working now. Something is making me feel like it is not. But it is, apparently. So, so here's what I'm trying to figure out. There's 2 graphics card slots. There's 2 slots where this could go in. And it didn't specify. I have 2 16 by 1 slots. So, right, like let's see. What is happening? Is the stream working? What's going on here? It says it's just not. Am I going to end the stream? I think I'm going to end the stream because I don't know if it's working. And then I'm going to start it right back up again.